Hello everybody out there, my name is Griffin, and today I'm going to be showing you how to use the PyWebIO library in Python to create your own websites with the same print input interface that you know and love, the basic input-output system of Python. It's a great library and has a whole bunch of extensible features, but I won't go into all that right now. I'm just going to show you how to start using the library in Repl. So obviously the first step to creating a Repl is going to the Repl website, repl.com, and logging into your account. So I'm just going to log in with Google. It would prompt you for username and password, obviously. And then the next thing that you want to do is create a new Python REPL. So we're going to go to Create, click Python, and I'm just going to call this PyWebIO example, and then create that REPL. And while this loads, okay. So now that it's loaded up, you want to make sure that this is all ready here. And so what you're going to want to do is come over to this left side, and this says packages. So you want to click on this little box-looking figure, and next you want to type in the name of the library that we're looking for, and that's PyWebIO. Hit enter. Okay, so here we have this. So I just clicked on it, and it'll say version 1.2.3, write interactive web apps in a script way. And you just click this green button that says add, and over here on the right side what will start happening is it'll start installing that, and there's some additional packages that come along with it just as dependencies, but it'll install here in any minute. It takes a little bit to install, and depending on how fast Repl is running a certain day, that might take some extra time, but it's finished here. Okay. So now, the first thing that you want to do anytime you install a new library is you have to import the library. And so we do that with just a couple lines of code. From PyWebIO dot input import input. Perfect. Okay, so from PyWebIO dot input import input. We also want to add text to the screen, so that's the output. So from PyWebIO dot output, import put text. So actually, additionally, with the put text function, you can import it as print, and you can use you can then, instead of having to type put text, you can just type print, and it works exactly the same way as every other input and output code that you've written in Python. So just add that at the end here as print. Okay, perfect. So one more input statement. We need to just import the entire library. So we'll go ahead and import PyWebIO. Okay. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to create a new function to store our website code. So go ahead and do that. So the way you create a new function in Python is just by typing def and then typing the name of your function. In this case, I'll just call it website. And then you want to open parentheses, and Repl will automatically close them for you. And then you just want to add a colon at the end and press enter. And what you can see it's done here is it's automatically indented for me. It's added 2 spaces to indicate that we are now writing code in the function. So you could just write anything that you want in here. So for example, I'll just type print hello world, the most basic coding example ever. And but we're not quite done. After we've put all of the code that we want to appear on the website in this block here, we actually have to add we have to add one more line of code that creates the web server. So websites require servers because you have to there has to be some way of getting the website information to your computer, and so we can just create a local server really easily with PyWebIO.startServer. Open. Next, we want the name of the function that we created. So in this case, it's just called website. So we call it type website, and then we want port to equal 80. Port 80 is the default for web applications, so it just makes everything work a lot easier. Hit run, and this will run, and what we'll see here is we'll see a little web box pop up here, and there's our link to the REPL up in this top bar, and it says hello world. So that means everything's worked. So let's just review one more time how we do this. You get into a new REPL, you come to packages, you type in PyWebIO, click, whoops, not that, sorry, PyWebIO, I don't know why it's not popping up now. Give me 1 second. PyWebIO. There we go. Click on that. It will say add instead of remove. You click add. You want to add these 3 lines of code at the top from PyWebIO.input import input, from PyWebIO.output import put text. In this as print is optional, but I would recommend it. And then import PyWebIO. And then you create your new function, which I just called website. It should look like this. You can change that name if you'd prefer. And then add all of your text that you would like, or all of your website code that you'd like. And then at the end, PyWebIO.startServer website, which is just that whatever the name of your function is, and port equals 80. And you too can start building super complex websites just with a couple lines of codes. Thanks everybody, and that's it for getting started with PyWebIO.